Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makhni. The Gadget 360 show is absolutely chock-a-block with awesomeness. Apple Watch Series 8 looks exactly like the Apple Watch Series 7, but don't let that put you off. This is a whole different watch. Temperature sensing wearable, critical for insight for women's health, and the privacy feature also very well taken care of. Great, excellent software improvement with WatchOS 9. Then it's got car crash detection, improved battery life. The brightness level is now 1000 nits outdoor in the sunlight. So this is looking really, really good. Then we'll move on to one of my favorite noise cancellation headsets, the Sennheiser Momentum 4. You know, the Bose and the Sony and Apple, they get all the name, but this is the one that really performs. Successor to the 2019 Momentum 3. So nice lightweight foldable design, unlike some that are now starting to get rid of the foldable design. And with the app, you can do a lot more, but predominantly it is just the Sennheiser sound that is just so good. And then we'll move on to the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G. Xiaomi's most premium notebook. You know, I'm actually very surprised that Xiaomi's gone into this. This is where Xiaomi doesn't usually play, right? I mean, they do a great product and then they have a really good price point. They're now really going into the high end. So fast 120Hz display, 2.5K resolution, design strongly influenced by the 4th generation MacBook Pro for sure, but that is not a bad thing. And then we'll move on to a party speaker for you. This is the Sony SRS XG300 portable speaker. Sony hai to complicated naam to hoga hi, but I'll tell you, this is a good looking one with an IP67 rating. So if your party is happening, the kind of weather that's been happening here in northern India, well, this one will still do pretty well. You can even charge your phone, perfect for your parties, indoor, outdoor, if you really want that incredible blast of sound.
DJI, the world's leading drone manufacturer, recently announced Osmo Action 3. The camera can shoot your thrilling adventures around the world at 4K resolution at 120 FPS with a wide 155-degree field of view. The camera sports a 12-megapixel paired with 1 by 1.7-inch CMOS sensor. Bearing good news for adventure seekers, it has a 1770 mAh battery that can be fully charged in 50 minutes. And for those rugged journeys where you just want to be in the moment and not worry about your gear's safety, it carries a protective frame with support that can be mounted horizontally and vertically to helmets and handlebars. The pack is also designed to work in cold temperatures down to as low as minus 20 degrees Celsius. Featuring 2 touch screens, 3 mic stereo recording, voice controls, and a 4x digital zoom, we just cannot wait to review this on our show soon. Expected price in India starts from Rs 26,399. Asus launched its new VivoBook 14 Touch in India, a 14-inch thin and light system. It weighs approximately 1.4 kgs, making it lightweight and portable. Bearing a 14-inch FHD IPS display that's touch-enabled, it features a screen-to-body ratio of 82% with a viewing angle of 178 degrees. Powered by Intel Core i5 1240 processor, it comes with 16GB RAM and 512GB SSD storage. For biometric authentication, there is a dedicated fingerprint scanner against the full-size backlit keyboard. The Asus VivoBook 14 Touch is priced at Rs 49,990 onwards and will be available in 2 colors, blue and silver.
Our top story today is the Apple Watch Series 8. Now, it comes in 2 sizes, you already know, 41mm and 45mm. There is absolutely no change in design, but the screen is a little bit bigger. Now, this is where the rest of the changes are coming in. This one measures and tracks changes in your body temperature while you sleep and otherwise. 2 sensors so that you don't get wrong readings, plus of course the always-on OLED Retina display, touchscreen response as always exceptional. It's an Apple. And the other major improvement is all the WatchOS 9 features really work very well. Low power mode now for Apple Watch Series 4 is really going to be the game changer. Now you can track your sleep if you want. And there's lots of other changes also that have come in, including 4 new Apple Watch faces. Prices start off at 45,900 rupees.
The Apple Far Out event has been by far the biggest event for its Apple Watch. We received 3 different models, the Watch Series 8, the affordable SE, and Apple's first ever Ultra, the Apple Watch Ultra. Today, we take a closer look at the newcomer of the OG series that started it all, the Series 8 in all its 45mm glory. Now, at a glance, it will be difficult to spot any difference on the watch itself. It looks the same as the Series 7 and the Series 6 with new color options. It is durable, water resistant up to 50 meters, swim proof and certified IP6S dust resistant. What gets added this year is a new and improved gyroscope sensor which works in harmony with its barometer, accelerometer and mic to provide a very accurate crash detection devoid of any false alarms. The other brand new feature this year is the 2 temperature sensors it comes with to provide ovulation tracking. The sensor underneath the glass takes the surrounding temperature while the one close to the wrist takes the body temperature. The contrast of the two helps the watch record accurate temperature data. The ovulation tracking is a retrospective measure and not something you can completely rely on to predict. Apple uses cycle tracking data along with your heart rate data to give you a detailed view of your menstrual cycle. Now, here's the thing. This is not an on-command tracker like the heart rate monitor or the ECG. In fact, you can't even use it to track your body temperature actively. So no, it does not work as a thermometer. What it does is it tracks your basal body heat and monitors it during your sleep. It is just an extra bit of data to monitor your overall sleep quality. Plus, we hope to see Apple integrate more usability for its temperature sensors in the future software updates to make it more useful for all its users. Speaking of software updates though, this is where we see the biggest bump up in terms of improvements. The WatchOS 9 brings a plethora of quality of life changes starting with its fitness tracking. The watch can now track heart rate zones during workouts to point out the intensity of the workout and cooling down. This also lets set certain workout goals based on your intensity of daily improvements. Take running for example. When running the same routes or laps, the watch will now be able to track your personal best and run times, helping you improve your performance. The WatchOS also provides better sleep tracking to let you know how long you were in the REM cycles and how deep your sleep was. It also adds a nifty little feature to track your medications, something we easily miss and forget. They also revamped the calendar app to make it visually more intuitive to use, read, and interact. There are other improvements such as better AFib history tracking, new keyboard languages, and more watch faces. Then there is the low power mode, which keeps essential processes running like fall detection and activity tracking while temporarily disabling battery draining features such as always on display and auto workout detection. This won't add significant hours to your battery but will give you that extra juice to last over a full day without having to search for a charger. So how does all this jargon feel around your wrist? It feels pretty spectacular to us. For a first-time user, the Apple Watch Series 8 is a game changer in many ways, and experiencing this is a thrill on its own for sure. That said, most of these improvements are available on Series 4 and above, and if you're an existing Apple Watch user, chances are you have already switched over to the new upgrades. Apple's founding ethos was power to the people through technology, and these incremental updates both in the software and hardware department is a proof of it. The Apple Series 8 will now become the new best-selling smartwatch, dethroning its own predecessor just the way it did to the model before. The watch starts at Rs 45,900, and at this price point, it is likely to remain as one of the best smartwatches out there. Now it is on you to decide if these upgrades are worth your upgrade.
So now let's come back to the Sennheiser Momentum 4. So once again, beautiful looking, very well made, good design, deep padded ear cups. Everything just feels good. That almost leather feel, which is not really leather, again feels really good. The driver is 42mm, active noise cancellation feature, one of the best ever. And I have to say, if you haven't tried out a Sennheiser with active noise cancellation, you haven't really experienced NC. Battery life about 60 hours, Bluetooth 5.2, priced at about 34,990. So it does play with the big boys.
Sennheiser is a household name in the audio industry, driven to newer heights with each lineup. Arriving as a successor to the 2019 Momentum 3 wireless, the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless is starkly different to it. From Sony XM series to Bose 700s or the long-running Apple AirPods Max, all are vying for the top position. Today on our show, we are excited to preview the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless. let's see what makes the Sennheiser Momentum 4 wireless an iconic headphone and whether it can stack up against the others in the segment. The case packs them all neatly with small compartments for the USB-C charging cable, headphone cable and the airline adapter. A strong deviation from its past, the Sennheiser Momentum 4 feels lighter and comfortable to wear. A conventional yoke with deep padded ear cups, fabric covering metal band along with the hinge mechanism speak of an understated elegance. Wearing them for long hours won't be cumbersome and wouldn't cause you ear fatigue. Though it is an all-plastic construction, we loved how the ear cups can rotate flat. No more storage issues, plus wearing them around your neck is easy. How cool is that? Retaining the 42mm transducer system of Momentum 3, Sennheiser Momentum 4 promises upwards of 60 hours of battery life with the active noise cancellation turned on. Even with mid-volume levels, we were able to use the device with ANC on for about 56 hours, coming quite close to the company's claim. Sennheiser Smart Control is the company's companion app for most of its Bluetooth audio devices, offering some decent functionalities. App integrations provide the much-needed customization, especially if you're an audiophile. Change between movie, classical, hip-hop, dance, pop or rock preset. These are helpful features, but nothing compares to the original sound quality on these headphones. A wide soundstage ensures all genres are free to roam. This is unique to Sennheiser, something that Sony XM5s or Apple AirPods Max missed in their build. The deep bass is coupled with a rich output, especially visible in the lowest sounds like in the rumbling of a bass guitar. This gives it that slight edge over others in the segment as each element is distinguishable and has its own character. Equipped with Bluetooth version 5.2 with AAC, aptX and aptX adaptive codec support, Sennheiser Momentum 4 carries no physical control except the power button and pairing button. Instead, it introduced the touch controls on the right ear cup. You can play, pause, single tap, skipping tracks in both directions, swipe backwards or forwards, and volume control swipe up and down. You can also switch easily between two modes of operation, the ANC mode, where ambient noises are completely shut to give you an immersive experience, or the transparency mode where you can hear music while still being aware of your surroundings. This is especially useful for calls, and one can clearly distinguish how Sennheiser has strived to make significant changes in its ANC software. Priced at Rs 34,990, Sennheiser Momentum 4 definitely outdoes the Momentum 3. It also carries a slight edge over Sony XM5 and AirPods Pro Max, just with its battery life and soundscape, making them worth the premium you pay for it.
Okay, so that was really good. And speaking of really good, the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G. Perfect mid-range laptop with unique offerings modeled on MacBook Pro models. I mean, you've seen already the look is pretty much the same, but it's actually got a really good build quality. So backlit keyboard with very comfortable keys, huge trackpad, and if you don't really use it well, can cause palm rejection. 720p webcam. Now that's the part that I'm so disappointed with. I mean, where are we? 2018? But where we are not in 2018 is with the 14.5-inch display, 2.5K resolution, IPS LCD screen with 120Hz refresh rate, so productivity, and you can game too. Great notebook for multitasking, but the price point is about 75,000 rupees.
It's the perfect season to shop for gadgets. With festivals and sales round the corner, Xiaomi unveiled their top-of-the-line Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G for the Indian markets recently, and netizens and techies are all over it. There is talk that this model sits comfortably between the new age ultra-thin productivity laptops and the bulkier gaming laptops, boasting of premium features and a Windows 11 operating system. Let's take a closer look and determine whether it is worth your buck. With a minimalist design and the curved edges, the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G looks adorably similar to the 4th generation MacBook Pro models. The body weighs at about 1.4 kgs, making it sturdy, and the texture of the anodized aluminium feels superior. The matte display houses a thin bezel that makes the notebook appear crisp and ready for a day of hardcore tasks. Now, what does working with the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G on the 14-inch 2560 x 1600 resolution matte IPS LCD feel like? Though it boasts of a 120Hz refresh rate, it is not aimed at gaming. A lack in pixels overdrive renders this unfit due to slow response time. And at 255 nits, it does leave one desiring for more. Though the overall performance out of the box is good thanks to the 12th Gen Intel Core i5 processor paired with NVIDIA GeForce MX550 graphics and 16GB of LPDDR5 RAM. Moving on to the deadly duo, keypad and the trackpad. While one can say they compromised on the display, what they didn't compromise on was the keypad mechanism. The perfectly sized keys have a 1.3mm of travel that feels smooth to use against the backlit keyboard. The trackpad is huge and strongly resembles Apple's signature trackpad style. Excellent texture, the clicks are solid and the calibration seems to work fine. The only issue here is it can over-register some prompts and there is an off chance you'll encounter palm rejection. Two down-fighting speakers on the side are powerful and loud, though not the most pleasant to hear. The 720p webcam just shouldn't be allowed on a sleek notebooks like the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G because this alone is a substandard feature for this range. Come on, we are in 2022 now. The Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G contains a single Type-A USB 3.1 Gen 1 port, one Type-C USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, and a Thunderbolt 4 port, a HDMI 2.0 connector and a 3.5mm headphone microphone jack is satisfactory, although they could have included more Type-A ports. Were you to use this for productivity tasks, the Xiaomi Notebook Pro 120G will deliver a rock-solid performance. Tasks like web browsing, office applications, and light image and video editing. The 56-watt-hour battery with 100-watt Type-C fast charging support are also offered, but these are standard. Priced at Rs 74,999, we will have to wait and see if it has the ability to take on the others in the segment. But until then, this device is definitely on our recommended list.
Let's take a quick break right now. On the show, when we come back, lots more happening on the Gadget 360 show. You're wearing your Apple Watch, you bought the laptop from Xiaomi, and you've got the Sennheiser Momentum 4. Time to give a party, right? You've really upgraded all your tech. For that, you need the Sony SRS XG300 portable speaker. Look, this is an all-out party speaker. Rubberized handle, you can carry it with you. Solid battery life, 25 hours. Nice illumination, you can get all your mega bass live sound, all good key features. Slightly big, I mean, it's not really going to be something that you can just carry with you. You can take it with you in a backpack or a duffel bag, then it makes sense. Great bass. I mean, that mega bass boost, you can really party, and it's priced at about 27,000 rupees.
Gone are the days when you would dread at the thought of carrying your enormous speakers to a party. The segment for high-quality audio instruments is booming, and Sony has consistently enjoyed being the consumer's favorite for years. The company released SRS XE300 and SRS XE200, but today we bring you Sony SRS XG300. It is strikingly similar to the SRX XG500, just smaller in size. Will Sony SRS XG300 be all that you need in a speaker, or will this be another case of all that glitters is not gold? Let's find out. Compared to several others in the space, the Sony SRS XG300 does feel heavier at 2 kgs. Hence, should not qualify for being called portable. This is where the rubber handles come in handy, and we are glad they exist. Unlike the circular diaphragm on usual speakers, the Sony X series comes with a wider non-circular diaphragm. This, it claims, results in increased sound pressure, creating a deep and punchy bass, a favorable outcome for parties. A textured fabric envelops all over, which adds to its unique appeal. The speaker can be controlled with two separate sections, the power, Bluetooth and mega bass buttons on one side and play, pause, call and volume on the other. The 3.5mm aux port is situated under the protective flap in the rear, along with USB-A port to charge other mobile devices, effectively turning the XG300 into a power bank. One can easily connect to the speakers through Bluetooth, but the real fun begins when you open the Sony Music Center app. It's where the Sony SRS XG300 truly shines. Produce a concert experience by choosing the live sound mode or the mega bass mode, which promises a deep bass, especially on tracks with a higher tempo. Or if you're somebody who would like a little light and sound play, choose the ambient illumination mode, which synchronizes lights according to the beats. Providing an average of 25 hours battery on a full charge, if you find yourself a little short of time, its quick charging feature will give you 70 minutes on a 10-minute charge. It is IP67 certified, so it can sustain dust and water. It supports Party Connect, which enables connection to 100 compatible devices with Bluetooth technology, syncing music across all of them. So does it qualify as an exceptional speaker worth your buck? Well, some would blindly argue that this is Sony and one cannot go wrong here. And to a certain extent, they would be correct too. Indeed, the Sony SRS XG300 gives an excellent vocal and audio quality. The bass is clear, the mids are low and have no distortion, and there is hardly any sound loss. So the decision to purchase is more about whether you have the cash to splurge on a high-end speaker or do you have a tight shoestring budget. Priced at Rs 26,990, the speakers are definitely expensive, but if you ask us, Sony does get it right and has definitely passed our vibe check.
That then was the Gadget 360 show for this week, but lots more happening. I mean, Apple's journey with us has just started. So much more. iPhones have come in, the AirPod Pro 2s are with us, the new watches are with us. So lots more happening, including the Apple Watch Ultra. See you next week.